BXBullet has like a long history of just being a deranged and unhinged liar. It's not defamation if I say allegedly. In a way, she kind of has, because she has successfully united everybody against her. Whether they're on the far left, far right, doesn't really matter. Everybody can just kind of come together as one to agree that she's a piece of shit. And I think that that's really a beautiful thing.
Ridiculous, you little... What are you doing here? Huh?
Yeah, I guess you talked to Tipster already about all this?
I went over it earlier. I was quite critical of BXBullet in terms of, like, you know, how she handled the situation.
The thing is, like, we didn't go after her. I can't stress this enough that in this instance, with all the drama that's happened because of these, like, Tipster accounts or whatever, we didn't go out of our way to, like, fuck over BXBullet. Like, she got mad because, like, a random fake Tipster account on Twitter started insulting her and, like, calling her, like, an e-whore or something. And she had already spoken to Tipster. She knows those aren't him, right? And then she decided to just go with that publicly and just start insinuating that Tipster talks to, like, 15-year-old boys, and that everybody who watches him is pedophiles, and that I'm a pedophile, and that if you like my content, you're a pedophile. And
yes, I agree. I covered it earlier, and yeah, I think that the way she handled this was very bad. And what I don't like is the way that she'll complain about getting mass reported and then call for her audience to mass report someone else.
Yeah, like, she's publicly flagged me. She's called her Discord to brigade Tipster's accounts. I mean, I don't know. She's saying that we're slandering her. I feel like I wouldn't be stupid enough to call a lawyer if you just called everybody who hates you pedophiles.
Okay,
yeah,
so
she's way too
Hunter.
trigger happy with it. Like, way too trigger happy with it. Thanks a lot, by the way, for letting me jump on here.
Pleasure, no issue whatsoever. Yeah.
But yeah, BXBullet has like a long history of just being a deranged and unhinged liar. Of course, Jesus. I know you read my the DMs that I had with that other guy who said that it seemed that BX was trying to, like, get false information about me. And then she's also in chat saying that I defamed her and then making fun of the fact that I said allegedly, which is like that's literally how you go about being polite, not even polite, but like legally. It's not defamation if I say allegedly. But
yeah, I also obviously when I spoke about it, I said, you know, I myself have got no evidence of this, and you yourself said allegedly, so I can only say this is what's been claimed, right?
Yes, and that's literally what I said too. Is I'm not going to come up and be like, yes, this is what happened, 100%. No, it's I was told this, and so far I have corroborating claims about it, and I also have screenshots showing that BX has been in contact with this other guy. But again, these are all just allegations right now. This is all allegedly because I don't have hard proof of this. However, I was hoping that she was going to come on here so that I could confront her about the fact that she has made previously defamatory statements about me, particularly that I enabled a child groomer, which I have a clip of here before her channel got terminated. And let's see. She says, to me, she says, Hunter, you are not only a defender of these disgusting people, you're an enabler. And in my eyes, you're no better than they are, or something like that. But yeah, basically, you remember the guy who got the creepy picture of her kid?
Yes, I remember that story, yeah.
Yeah, so long story short, that dude reached out to me and wanted to come on my channel and talk about how BXBullet had, like, kind of fucked him over. And I didn't have any awareness of the trauma at the time, and I have DMs, screenshots to demonstrate that. So I was like, okay, maybe. And he wanted to also pay me to come on. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I've never done that before. That's kind of weird, but I'll hear him out at least. Basically, long story short, he sent me a $200 tip, which was just of his own volition. And then he was also going to pay me another $200 to come on the channel. But I then saw the clip of him saying that he leaked the photo or had the photo. And immediately after seeing that, I refunded him the $200 and then told him to basically get the fuck out of my face. And since then, BX has been on, like, this massive crusade against me to claim that I enabled this guy. And this is why I was really hoping she would come on, because she cannot answer the question, how did I enable a child predator if he was never on my channel? She can't answer that question because it would destroy her claim. But yeah, like, she's repeatedly claimed that I have enabled this guy, or that I'm, like, working with a child groomer, or all kinds of, like, really creepy, bordering on defamatory statements. So yeah. pretty fucked up
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah, no, because I remember all of that. I guess just to play devil's advocate a little bit here, is this something she's still talking about? Because my understanding is she's kind of moved on from talking about you, or is this something she still talks about and she's still kind of making these claims about you to this day?
I thought she called Hunter a pedophile sympathizer yesterday. I thought that was yesterday on the
Yeah.
street.
What
Like,
the
this
fuck?
pedophile sympathizer got me banned. I don't know for a matter of fact if that was the exact
No,
word.
she said if
deleted it.
she said I'm glad that he doesn't agree with me or something, because if a pedophile sympathizer did, then then I would be doing something wrong or something like
Okay,
that. So yeah, she's repeatedly
okay.
done stuff like this.
Sure. So, but I think that's probably more related to your controversial tweet recently, because I know your position. I think we probably have got some agreement on the non-offending issue, where like people shouldn't be maligned for having thoughts; they should get help.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
guess
BX doesn't agree with that either, because
Okay.
she's too busy virtue signaling about
That
like,
actually makes
oh,
you
I'm a
a
Is it
defender
wood
of
chipper stuff?
sympathizer, Chud.
I'm a defender of the children, except for what empirically is demonstrated to reduce child rape.
Is
Like,
it
that's kind of
the
thing.
wood chipper memes? Is that what we're dealing with? You know,
Kind
like,
of stuff like that, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not at all. The funny thing is, like, I'm not at all a pedophile sympathizer. I recognize that people who have those attractions are fucking like dangerous, and they are almost like a ticking time bomb, you know. And so it just kind of logically follows then that if somebody is like that, they should go and get therapy. But right now, the stigma is preventing that, and there's again empiricism to demonstrate that. People in your chat are also asking for evidence that I refunded him. I have screenshots here of me refunding the 200. Usually what starts the most controversy is I didn't refund him the other $200 that he sent me because it was a tip and he sent it on his own volition. And again, I have DMs demonstrating that as well. Because, well, I don't know why I should. And basically BX has been like furious about it, saying I should have refunded him, which again is kind of weird because she wants me to give the pedophile more money. So, like, that's a little creepy too. But yeah, as far as like the 200 he paid me to come on the channel, I refunded that because
I don't even
was
think
not
you
gonna
should
come
have
on my channel.
refunded it. I'd have just told him to go fuck himself and then just not talk to him like ever again. Like, what's the point of giving him his money back?
Well, because he did give me 200 to come on the channel, so I feel like it's just proper.
Exactly.
etiquette
Then
to be like,
scam him.
no,
Oh my God,
no,
mate.
that,
It's
that
called
would
customer
have been
service.
Well, if he's
more.
a pedophile, why would you care if you scam him?
Well, because honestly, because it would come back to bite me in the ass, truthfully.
From who? The maps?
No, from him. Like, he has enough of a voice still that it wouldn't be a good look. And just business speaking, I wouldn't say, yeah, give me payment for something, and then if I fail to deliver that thing, no, I think that just by virtue I should be I should be refunding him that. But no, I didn't give him back the $250 tip that he gave me because it was a tip. And like I said, it seems that BX like wanted me to give him more money, which is kind of weird. But then after I called her out for that, she said, no, actually, I think you should donate it to an organization or something. Like, she quickly changed her tune, which was also kind of funny because it's like, so if you think it's like blood money, basically, then why should I give it to another organization? Like, I don't know. It's just, the whole story was really funny though. But yeah.
Sure. I mean, I think, obviously this is no, like, not for you, so to speak, because you've been hard done by these claims. I get that. But, I can kind of understand, I'm trying to play devil's advocate a bit here. I can kind of understand, BXBullet obviously is feeling on edge about this guy, and probably, attacked you maybe because she also felt attacked in this situation because of the circumstances around the kid and the picture. I feel like one of BXBullet's biggest problems, though, is that she kind of bites off more than she can chew in some of these dramas, and she kind of picks these unwinnable fights. And, with the Tipster stuff recently, it's like she's gone after Tipster for no real reason off the back of a fake account.
She's just absolutely wrong. And like, even people who hardly know Tipster know that there's like a fucking Tipster multiverse of people who make fun of him online and make like parody accounts.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because I feel like it comes from an incapability to ever acknowledge if she's just wrong on something. Like, if I had ever fallen for a fake Twitter account, which I mean, I don't
I've
remember.
done it.
I've fallen for it. I've never
at least once.
posted about it, but I've definitely, there's been like fake Vosh accounts that I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why did he say that? And I'm like, oh wait, that's not actually his real account. But like, that happens. But if you just were like, hey, I messed up, my bad, LOL, been a long day, or like, she could have just played it off. But instead she had to just like double down on this thing and just start reeing that like,
yeah, we're
it comes from
stopping
an
her from
inability
preventing the Civil War or something. Like, what are you talking about?
I think she just lacks the ability to admit when she's wrong, and it's really unfortunate because this drama right here with Tipster, the whole thing could have just been avoided. Like Tipster, it's funny because he didn't even do anything. She just like drummed up the drama out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, Tipster was probably just vibing, and then all of a sudden, BXBullet is going after him. That's my perception of what happened anyway. Because this fake account, I don't think has been proved to be linked to Tipster in any way. It's just some random schizo on Twitter, I presume. So,
I've seen like alt-right tipster accounts and shit. Like, there are just tipster accounts that just like tweet out how like they're just fed posting tipster accounts. It's actually insane.
It's really weird. Actually, it looks like Tipster's in the waiting
Oh,
room,
sorry.
too.
Yeah, I'll pull him in. Yeah. Right, Tipster, what's going on, mate? What's all this business then?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I was just kind of minding my own business last week when this shit started, and then I get like tipped off by somebody in my followers, like, "Yo, did you know that BXBullet is accusing you of sexually harassing her right now?" And I'm like, "What?" I had no idea what was going on. And sure enough, I check out her Twitter, and it's like, "Oh, she fell for a fake tipster account."
It's
Jesus.
genuinely kind of sad. I think I might actually make this. I have a folder here, BX Backtrack, where I've been just kind of compiling different messages and claims of hers. Specifically, I mean, I have a lot of messages here too that are just from my conversation with the guy, just to demonstrate that I wasn't like aware of the creepy behavior. And as soon as I found out, I stopped immediately talking to him. And then I think she also like grabbed onto something where I said like I'll unblock you from Discord or something as like to, I don't even know what she was trying to get at, but like no, I haven't had any more contact with that guy. But yeah, it's just I kind of I agree with you a lot, Chud, that she does seem to be biting off way too much than she can chew, because I feel like there is some stuff that like the whole thing that happened with that creep and the picture of her kid, that was like a very legitimate thing to be ticked off about and also to want to raise awareness about. And like if that happened to me and my child, I would be furious about it too. But to like, it almost seemed as though throughout that whole drama, she was more interested in attacking me, even though I didn't actually do anything at the end of the day, than she was interested in attacking the actual creep.
Yeah, I think sometimes, she just needs to take a step back and kind of assess, who is it I'm actually, going to war with here? Who is it worth attacking or criticizing over this? Because when you lash out against someone who, doesn't really deserve it, it just ends up causing you more problems, And I think in your situation, that was the case. And obviously the Tipster situation as well. It's just caused her more issues on top of whatever issues she's already got. So, I think, probably best just to take a step back and stop lashing out at everyone. I don't know.
I really wish she would come on here. I mean, if she's ever willing to, then you can always host it, Chud, if you want to be the
on like
moderator.
Super Saiyan Karen mode. And
Okay,
like
guys, listen. I'm happy to have her on if she wants to come on. Okay, but like this is going to be a very hostile call for her. So I understand
We'll
you
take
want to have her on.
turns, we'll take
Listen,
turns.
it's in my interest to have her on. Obviously, it's content for me. But I can understand like it's very hostile. But listen, I'll defend her on her if she does come on, even though I've got some criticisms of how she's handled stuff. And if she doesn't come on, I'll do my best to defend her side as best I can, I guess.
Yeah, and that's why I think it would be great if you were able to moderate too, because it seems as though since you haven't had any like beef with her yourself, you're able to be a little bit less biased.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was quite critical earlier. I tried to avoid any mean comments, even though she said some mean comments herself. But yeah, sure, I can definitely be unbiased. I don't have like a hatred of her.
It's a good thing you did that. Otherwise, she would have let off with like pedophile sympathizer Chud Logic hosts hate attack on me on Twitch or something. The slander continues.
Is this how Twitch treats their women creators? She'd pull like the Keffels card or some shit.
Yeah,
All right,
you'd be in the crosshairs next.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I mean, I appreciate you letting me come on. I'm not trying to, hijack the stream and make this all about me or anything. I just thought it was interesting that she seems to have a long history of drumming up drama that doesn't really have much basis, and it's really unfortunate because it's doing nothing but a disservice to her.
Yeah, and I think having watched this video, there's others that maybe are a different angle, but I find it quite interesting. And I mean, this actually, Hunter, there's one thing I wanted to ask you, because you laughed when a channel got banned, but do you actually agree with the ban?
The thing is I don't know. I have not watched the video in question yet. I know you watched it. Do you think that it was a violation of TOS?
No, I mean, I don't think it was a violation of TOS. Personally, I think that it's just that YouTube are very anal about mass shooting content, and if you stray out of like what they would consider to be a reasonable discourse about it, they're probably going to smash the hammer on you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Then I'll say right now. I mean, no. If it was not an actual violation of TOS, then no, she should not be banned. Sorry, she should not have been banned. No, absolutely not. The little clip that's going around is just me kind of laughing, and like I said, I'm generally not in favor of deplatforming, at least if it's a result of like mass flagging or if you haven't really violated TOS. But I mean, for it to happen to anybody, at least it's happening to her. Like that's kind of my approach. But no, at the end of the day, ethically, morally, no, I'm not in favor of her getting deplatformed if it wasn't actually a breach of TOS. So I think if she appeals it, she probably could get her channel back.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, sorry, go on. What are you going to say, Nicholas?
It's a lot to ask us to be sympathetic when she's gone on her own Discord account and said, report Tipster's tweets,
Okay,
report
listen,
Tipster's videos.
I'm not asking you to be
like...
sympathetic, you fucking idiot. Okay, I'm just
well,
asking.
No, but
whether you
that's how
on principle
these
think.
happen. Like,
no, sure. I'm just asking is whether on a principle you think it's right or wrong. Okay.
Oh yeah, I guarantee that. Like, if it's a scenario where like it's some bullshit TOS, every single person in this call will be like, yeah, absolutely,
yeah, sure,
give
of course,
BXBullet channel back. But like the reason why you get the clip of Hunter going like, oh shit, this is hilarious when it happens isn't because like, oh, it's like a, oh, we looked into it, it's definitely a real it's just because she's been a piece of shit to everybody. And she claims to be this like free speech absolutist person who's gotten more people banned than some of the people who aren't for free speech that I know.
Well, before I go, I will say this is that I was watching a lot of your stream earlier, Chud, before I went live myself, and I saw that she was talking about how she just wanted to make the world a better place or something, and in a way she kind of has, because she has successfully united everybody against her, whether they're on the far left, far right, doesn't really matter. Everybody can just kind of come together as one to agree that she's a piece of shit, and I think that that's really a beautiful thing. So, yeah.
Sure, thank you for that.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Chud. Have a good rest of your stream, and yeah, if she changes her mind and is willing to come on, then please let me know, because I would be more than happy to chat with her.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
All right, see you.
Cheers, bye-bye. Listen, I'm just trying to do, the middle ground mediator role at this point. Yeah. And you guys are just going in heavy. And it's fine, listen. If they say anything too bad, I'll disavow, but, Oh, wait, who's that?
Stardust.
Hey, Stardust, how's it going?
I can help balance things out as well, because she hasn't slandered me. But I've definitely seen her actions, and they've made me less sympathetic towards her. And I was somebody who was defending her a few months ago. So, and I also thought that Hunter handled his situation with her like optically in the worst way possible. But
funny you say that as he's just left. Yeah. Nice one. Getting the boot in there as he's going. Jesus.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I want to hear more from Tipster, because I do feel Tipster has genuinely been hard done by in this drama. So, Tipster, what have you got to say, my friend?
Yeah, the interesting thing that Stardust just mentioned about like defending her or whatever. I remember when the stuff was going on with that Matt Brockett guy who was like doing the creepy shit with the picture of her kid or whatever. Like, I actually defended her in that regard, and she was like, "Oh, thank you, Tipster, for using your platform to signal boost this issue." So she was like totally like down with me back then. But she falls for a fake Tipster account, and suddenly it's like, oh, Tipster's trying to deplatform me, and he's been trying to do so for a year. When have I ever tried to deplatform her? She's never presented any proof of that whatsoever. In fact, I've said the opposite in regards to a recent ban. So I don't get it. Like, she says a lot of things about me, but she doesn't have any proof of any of it. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was obviously quite critical of the way that she handled it, because it seemed like she went from like 0 to 150 in like the course of a few minutes over a fake account, and she was accusing me of hanging out with 15-year-olds. And it's just like,
yeah,
what?
Apparently
like,
I'm a
Jesus.
fucking kid diddler now or some shit.
Yeah, Jesus, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, all I know you for is the liking of goth girl e-girl accounts, that meme. I don't.
Tipster likes elder women. All right, that's his specialty. He goes for the cougars.
Look, Tipster's a ladies'
Wait,
man.
where did this come from, Nick? What?
I made it up, but guess what? It's canon now.
Yeah, just like you made up that I was getting a divorce and everybody fell for it, you asshole.
That's
Yeah,
really funny.
I'm the reason why they make these fake tipster accounts. I think
It's
the shit that they
true.
say
It's
about
true. Like there
tipsters.
was one fake tipster account that you guys thought was funny and you signal boosted it, and then all the little community orbiters wanted attention, so they made their own fake tipster accounts. Literally, fuck you and Augie for that, man.
Yeah, if anything, I didn't slander BXBullet. I've done irreparable damage to Tipster's brand, and he should be mad at me.
Well, I was going to
Yeah,
say
dude, this
actually,
this all started because of you guys. It's all your fault, all right?
I was going to say, like, there's sometimes like memes and on Twitter and stuff that I see from you commentary guys going at each other, and I think, is this banter? Like, are you cool with this? Are you having fun, or are you kind of like attacking each other sometimes? Sometimes it can get a bit vicious, but do you guys feel like you're in on the joke when there's these memes going out about your weight and stuff like that, or what's the deal with that?
Yeah, we're all
Yeah, it's
friends.
friendly banter most of the time. Friendly
And
banter.
I like making really mean comments about them,
Welcome
so they
to
have to
me.
be allowed to make mean comments about me sometimes. That's the rule.
I mean, they do make mean comments about you. Like that's kind of like the back and forth, right? So.
Yeah, no, it's we're all toxic internet losers and stuff like that. But we've all met and shit before, like at conventions and stuff like that. We're friends.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, is there any way back, Tipster, with the BXBullet bridge, or is that it? Is it forever gone now?
I mean, I've never really had like a relationship with her or anything, but I mean, I'm willing to talk to her. Uh,
You hear that, BX? A room just opened up in the harem. You can come
Oh
on
my
into
god,
the
no,
Nicholas,
no, no, no,
stop
no.
it,
It's not like that.
dude! What are you doing? That's something my chat would
It,
say.
Look,
it's not like that. It's
Tipster.
just I'm willing to have a conversation with her about this and try and resolve this because clearly it's a big misunderstanding on her part. I'm a lot more reasonable than she seems to think.
Tipster is a ladies' man. He's very popular with the ladies. I've noticed that.
Oh yes,
So.
I am indeed very popular with the ladies.
I mean, I guess, I appreciate, she quite viciously attacked you first. But obviously when you're on stream, I haven't got the quotes off the top of my head, but I would say that there were definitely some mean comments made about BXBullet. On reflection, how do you
And I
feel
don't
about those
regret
now?
any of them. I still think
Okay.
she's BX brain dead.
Okay.
Welcome
No, that's fine.
to
Listen, I'm
Chud
just getting it down for the record, okay? But yeah, I mean, I think the problem is someone says something shitty about you, and then you end up saying something shitty back, and it's just this kind of cycle, right? And, that's just the way the internet goes, isn't it, really?
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, I appreciate you letting me on. I got to get back to my normie job because unlike BX Bullet seems to think, I don't spend my days hanging out with 15-year-olds all day.
Okay. No worries. Thanks for coming on.
It's hard. It's
Yeah,
the
you guys have a
insults
good
are
one.
like
Catch
the
you
insults
later,
that she's throwing out are just like awful. Like, yeah, sure, she's not explicitly saying, Tipster, you are a pedophile. The way she's lacing it is like, Tipster, you're a creep who hangs out with 15-year-old kids. And a lot of people who love kids must be watching these videos. And you guys sympathize with pedophiles and enable them. It's just like, yeah, I understand where you're going with this. But the account was fake, and none of us said that too. So, maybe just stand down, go to Starbucks, get yourself a venti, take a chill pill, and everything will be okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I feel like especially since you guys were people who were retweeting her whole thing with her daughter, her whole campaign about that guy who was stalking her, and she knows what she should know what an actual pedophile looks like if that's really the case, right?
Yeah, I know.
So now when she's throwing around like this implication of everybody being a pedophile, that kind of like undermines the whole thing with her daughter, which I think most people felt genuinely bad for her. Most
Yeah.
people were like genuinely like, oh my God, I would be paranoid if I had somebody stalking me who had a picture of my daughter, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, when you go around, you start slapping this implication on everybody, then your claims are not going to get believed anymore.
I don't know if I have DMs with her anymore, but I could have sworn she's thanked me for retweeting posts about that guy too. So I went from like, oh, epic commentator who helped out the cause to like pedophile sympathizer because I told her that she was being trolled online.
I mean, well, you obviously, I obviously, looked over it earlier to prepare for talking about it, and I looked through your tweets, and I think the first thing I could see, I believe, was you pointing out that she'd fallen for a fake account, and I think the worst thing I saw you say was like, you were saying that I'm paraphrasing, she's insane and needs to get some help or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went
Okay.
full concern troll by the end of it, 100%.
Okay. Do you want to just elaborate on what you meant by that?
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of this, like, so I saw the issue in the beginning and I thought, all right, she just got trolled. She can't really like handle the walk back. A lot of people like saying a lot of stuff online, but they don't like correcting themselves when they're, get a little egg on their face and stuff. And that's understandable because she's far from the first person to be in that situation. But then, I mean, have you read the message she sent to Bo Blacks?
I've not seen the Bo Blacks message. No, please do.
Do you mind if I either send this to you or read a little bit of it?
No, I'll take your word for it. Well, send it to me and then read it on stream, and I can make sure that you're being honest. Okay?
Yeah. Let me just.
I want to hear it in your voice.
Okay. Yeah, this is where I was like, oh, this is an advanced problem. So she reached out to Bo Black, somebody who she was like cool with at the time, and was going to consider going on his stream, and she basically said, please do me a favor. Don't perpetuate this stupid bullshit. I'm incredibly busy working on something important, and all of these mass reports on me are going to get me scrubbed off the fucking internet. I have information about a mass shooting that I'm releasing on social media. This is fucking up my investigation and my chances of getting it out to the public sphere. It's actually very serious. It's not petty Twitter drama. Maybe you could cover that instead. I like you. I think highly of you, unlike the people you hang out with. I know you're young, but consider this. Mass shootings, violence, and disinformation are in overdrive. We're spiraling towards a civil war. This is called accelerationism, and it is 100% designed. It affects all of us, because at the end of the end result is widespread censorship and much worse. So Bo Blacks like reaches out, or she reaches out to Bo Blacks to talk about like the fake tipster Twitter situation, and now suddenly we've entered. Fucking BXBullet is standing between us and the oncoming civil war, and I think that this person has lost her fucking mind.
Okay, let me ask you a question though. Have you watched their videos about it?
They were taken down at the time, so okay. I didn't see it. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, they're still available on Rumble. Maybe you should have a little watch of them. Maybe your mind changed. I don't know. I've not watched all of them, but I'm just saying. Do
you think they justify the oncoming civil war? Like, do you think that's like on the horizon?
Okay, listen, in all seriousness, I think BXBullet suffers from main character syndrome, and she gets on a crusade and feels that what she's doing is the most important thing and everyone needs to know about it, and she's got this habit of kind of messaging creators and asking them to cover whatever the current thing she is doing is. And I think it ends up with a boy who cried wolf type situation, because it could be that she does end up having something that is really serious, because she's always going to people going, oh, you need to cover this, you need to cover this, you need to cover this. People are going to kind of disregard it, But yeah, I mean, obviously, this is very,
that's like the symptom
rhetoric.
Of being a person with like a large Twitter account. Like people will respond, hey, you should check this out. Hey, you should check this out. Hey, you should check this out. BXBullet did that a few times. And initially, when it was like a legitimate issue, like the stuff that happened with like her kid, I absolutely retweeted that. But like, yeah, I don't know. This is but this wasn't like, oh, Bo Blacks, you should cover the Civil War. This was like, stop shitting on me on Twitter, because every time you call me crazy, it's like we're 1% away from me helping save the civilization.
Yeah, so if I can just say, like, I was telling Nick this last night. I think that if one thing that we can come away with from this is that at least when people look at these conspiracy theories now that she's kind of peddling, people can look at her and be like, oh, this is the type of person that believes in this. I really shouldn't believe in this. This must be dumb as fuck, And so at least there's that. And also, I mean, if she's the one thing that's like standing between us and like a civil war, I think we deserve it. Honestly, I really do.
No, but I do hope she gets her YouTube channel back. But
right, Stardust, have you watched the videos about this?
I've only seen. No, I haven't watched the videos.
Oh, there we go again. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you know a lot about it then, don't you?
No, I mean, I fair enough. I've been interacting with her for the past few months, though. So
It's time to get on Rumble, okay?
Yeah,
I have
Rumble.
never made a Rumble account, but you know what? I think that it's time. Deplatforming has taken me to Post. It has taken me to Rumble. It has made me introduce my audience to crazy websites. So we're going on these new websites now.
you know what?
Yeah.
I will make a pledge to check out one of her videos tonight. How about that?
I mean, I watched one. I had some criticisms of it, but I don't know. I found it interesting. I definitely don't think it deserved her getting yeeted from YouTube. You know, but I mean, yeah, sure. The way that she was going after Tipster and atting people to like go after his channel because she thought he'd gone after his channel. Yeah, I mean, that's just completely wrong. Like, that's not justifiable in any situation. Even if Tipster had gone after her channel, I don't think it's right that you then do the same thing back, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the phrase they use? Like, two wrongs don't make a
Eye
right.
for an eye.
Yeah.
Eye for an eye makes the
And
whole world
I don't
pay.
prefer the like you go low, I go lower type thing. I'm not a huge fan of that mentality.
Okay.
That's
Well,
like Ethan Ralph mentality.
What's your mentality? What moral thing do you think in these situations?
I just point and I laugh. Regardless of whether she's flagging me down or whatever, I'm not going like, "Hey guys, here's this video. Go take this shit down" or something like that. I'm not like fighting fire with fire. But yeah, I know I'm gonna just sit there and have a good laugh at you.
Yeah, yes. Well, this is the thing. It is a lot of tit for tat stuff as well. Like, because Tipster was obviously saying shitty things about her, but like she said shitty things about him first. Like, you know, this is what I find so frustrating about internet beefs. Is like, you know, you don't ever really get sometimes to who started it, right? But that, in some ways, is important because if you're just doing nothing and someone calls you a nonce and you say "fuck you, bitch," well, I think that's pretty justified. You know, like mean words against mean words.
And just to be clear, if Tipster came out and legitimately said like, "Get back on your OnlyFans, slut! Nobody's gonna watch your video. I'm gonna flag it down," like she'd be totally justified in everything she said. You know, maybe except for the like the mass flagging, brigading stuff. But like even then, it's more understandable if that was the way he tackled her and that was like a real thing that happened. It just wasn't, unfortunately. So it's yeah.
I know for me originally with like the Hunter stuff, I was going to cover it back when that first started. But as I started to look into it more, I realized that it was really being sort of amped up as it was almost a drama out of nothing from BX's side, and I consider BX to be a friend, so I really wanted to cover it for her, and I had covered the stuff with the dude who took pictures of her daughter and tried to weaponize them. And I was actually the one who actually got him banned from Twitch initially. I reported him because I saw a bunch of stuff that it was like, holy shit, this is really fucked up. And so I reported very specific things that I knew were wrong. And he got suspended initially from Twitch for that. So I really wanted to cover the Hunter thing, and I ended up deciding against it because it just looked like a nothing burger, and it looked like it was mostly being amped up by BX. And as I went through all the two videos that there were at the time, it looked like Hunter was innocent of what she was claiming, but she was amping up so much that I didn't even think I could talk to her about it. Like she was turning it into such a big drama on Twitch or on Twitter and Twitch that I knew there wasn't really any way for me to talk to her about it. So I just decided to not cover it and I kind of backed off. And little by little over the months, I've just kind of distanced myself from her just because it is too much that she's stirring up with these different people with very big claims about them. So that's why I figured I'd jump on because I wanted to give like a little bit of a defense also to Hunter in this that, this was really kind of started by BX initially and amped up. And I saw it as soon as I looked into the original videos.
Yeah, I mean, I think that listen, I'm trying to be the reasonable middle ground guy here, okay? I got a lot of criticisms of BXBullet. I think that the way that she acted with some of the stuff with her kid and the guy, weird fucking creep guy taking the picture and stuff and threatening her with it, I could attribute some of that to like stress and difficulty in kind of dealing with having this guy that was doing this weird shit to do with your kid. but it seems like there is a more of a pattern, and she kind of, like I say, bites off more than she can chews, gets into this slap fight, sometimes for no good reason, sometimes with a bigger creator, but doesn't think logically about, okay, what's the ramifications of this? Is this a fight I can win? Is this a fight I should even be in the first place? So, yeah, I think she just really needs to take a step back and think, is this a fight I need to have? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with what you're saying. I don't think you're off at all. I think she gets wrapped up in stuff she can't control a lot. And I mean, she seems to be pretty against drama right now, but her issue is that when she has like time to take some pot shots, she does anyway, and then all of a sudden she's against drama. If you want to just avoid all this stuff altogether, it's really easy. Just don't like. I mean, she again had a conversation with Tipster previously about how there are fake accounts that impersonate him and like say crazy shit and stuff like that. So if she's knowledgeable on that situation, I don't think making it like God. I think I have it in front of me. This is like so they had previously spoken, and this is a legitimate thing that she said about him. Here, let me read this quote. Tipster is a 40-year-old man who hangs out with a group of toxic teenagers in the YouTube drama sphere. They support maps and non-offending pedophiles who joke about raping kids and tried to have me deplatform for over a year. So it's like, I mean, sure, yeah, like BXBullet hates drama, but like when you open with that, yeah, we're gonna make fun of you.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy shit to say. I think that, to be honest, a lot of this probably stems from a use of Twitter and just saying stupid shit on Twitter like this.
100%. Right? I think if she didn't have a Twitter account, she'd be much happier.
Yeah, I mean, there was one tweet where she was like, I could block trolls, or I could be a blocking trolls all day, but I've got to get back to work, and that to me just is like, I think she's got like an addiction. I mean, most of us here probably do, right? But it seems like she's got some addiction to fucking being on Twitter and arguing with people. I've stepped away from it as much as I can because I hate arguing with retards on Twitter. But yeah, it can be fun sometimes. But if it stops being fun and it starts being stressful, and interfering with your life, log off for a bit. Like, fuck me.
Dude, everyone gets all uptight about like blocking and shit. Dude, I've managed to navigate this fucking website because when somebody says something really stupid to me, I don't even sit there and go, all right, would I like to have a 1 hour back and forth with this person? Nah, I just nuke them. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta block and forget it.
There's a difference between people who have like legit issues that you should definitely argue with, and there's like a difference between like bad faith. If you can clean up the actually bad faith people who are just making completely irrational arguments because that they're playing team sports on an issue, you can totally just wipe your slate clean and have like a normal interaction on social media. It's possible.
Which is like most people as well. Like most of them are playing team sports.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And I'm sure my fans are like that too. Like I'm sure there's a percentage of the people in my audience who just like agree with every fucking thing I say, and it's totally annoying conversation. If you want to block them, be my guest.
Like I was hoping that BX would come on because I wanted to kind of have like an honest conversation with her about this kind of stuff, because like I know it just feels like shit. Even though you can get caught up in the moment of needing to defend yourself or point out things that you think are horrible about a person, it feels like shit for it to go on for an extended period of time, and especially to have them happen like continuously with people back to back or even simultaneously, where you're beefing with multiple creators at the same time. It's just a shitty feeling. It's antagonistic. You're constantly feeling drained. You're constantly having to deal with like wondering like who's now responding and talking more shit about you, right? And at some point you had to just end up being the bigger person and just say, fuck it, either use that ego you've got that makes you want to defend yourself and say, they're just a fucking retard and block them. Mm-hmm. Or just say, screw it, it's not worth it. One of those things. You gotta move on and not amp things up more, not instigate more, not become more antagonistic. So I was really hoping that she would come on and we could have a little bit of a conversation about that.
Real quick, I'll probably drop out now. If she wants to come on and have a conversation with like Stardust, Chud, and Zonia, I know Tipster and Hunter are gone already, so maybe if I leave, she'll do that, and I won't like Sam C to her and ruin the whole conversation. Thank you for having me on, buddies.
Pleasure, mate. No worries.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Manic.